Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Alecia Lott, and this channel is for those of you who want to maintain a journaling routine that is messy, minimalist, and low budget, and for those of you who want to use journaling for mental health and growth and feelings and stuff. This week I will be answering a question that a viewer sent to me, so I'll do that, and then in the second half of the video we will do our weekly spread and get set up for the week. So this week's question comes to us from one of my longtime viewers and supporters. Her name, and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, I'm sorry if I don't, her name is Priska. Hello! Hi, Priska. Priska's question is, and it is a very good question, what keeps you consistent in your journaling routine? I've been journaling on and off my entire life. In the past 5 years or so, I finally just got myself into a routine where I journal almost every day. I won't say every day, but most days I am writing something in my journal. So I have some insights as to what keeps me consistent. It may not work for you, but hopefully this will give you some ideas. So the first thing, and you may not like to hear this because I know I wouldn't have wanted to hear this when I was younger, is to make your life consistent. Now, first of all, I know this is easier said than done. I am in a unique situation in which all I do is work and eat and journal and have a YouTube video about journaling. I'm not married. I'm not in a romantic relationship. I don't have children. I don't have pets. I have 2 plants that are basically in foster care with my mother. So just take whatever I say with a grain of salt. My life is not going to be the same as your life and vice versa. But what I can say is that there are plenty of times in my life in the past where it just wasn't on my radar to journal. My life was just all over the place. I hated the thought of even having a routine because I just wanted my life to be just different and exciting every day. I just needed to have variety like all the time. But unfortunately, not knowing what you're going to be doing next is just kind of unsettling, just mentally, physically, and it's not really conducive to having a routine in any way, journaling, exercise, eating, whatever it is. So what really helped me after, I want to say slightly after I started bullet journaling, was a book that I read. It was called Miracle Mornings. In that book they talk about just building a routine, waking up early, doing things that are going to help you be more productive and just ready to start the day. It has this little acronym that they use for the things that you're supposed to do every morning, and it's called SAVERS. So let me see if so silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. So that's SAVERS, and scribing is writing, so you would just spend a few minutes writing. It felt very rapid fire and there are just too many things, so yeah, it's like spend 20 minutes doing this, spend 10 minutes doing that every morning. So my morning routine is a little more simple. It's more crew. Coffee and get the crust out of your eyes. Basically just do your general morning stuff. You brush your teeth, you get dressed, whatever. R is read the goals and intentions aloud in my journal. E is exercise, but I didn't tell you guys, I broke my toe last week, so I've been kind of skipping the E lately. Yeah, my toe is fine. I just limp a little bit, but yeah, I'm definitely not in a state of being able to walk. I usually walk in the mornings, but not so much. And the W is for write, and that writing is what I spend the most of the time doing in the morning. Going back to Miracle Morning, even though I don't do everything that the book says, I do credit it with just inspiring me to have specific things that I do when I first wake up in the morning. If you're struggling to kind of get yourself together in the mornings, it's a good idea. But the morning routine actually starts the night before, and I have an acronym for that. That is CHEW. All right, so first we had crew, now we have CHEW. The chew is coffee again, but this time getting the coffee maker ready. Coffee is very important to me. So getting the coffee maker ready, just making sure that I have all the supplies I need for my morning cup of coffee, because the next day, if I don't have my coffee, that kind of I'm not going to be dramatic and say that it messes up the whole day if I don't have coffee, but it really does help. The H is hair and beauty. Just make sure that I'm doing all of my nighttime beauty stuff. The E is for evaluate. It's basically just sitting and taking a moment and thinking about how the day went, and if there's anything that I may have learned that day or anything that I wish I had or hadn't done, and so that way I can move forward and go into the next day and just think about that. And the W in crew stands for writing again. So I like to begin my day with writing, and I like to end my day with writing. Thankfully, the nighttime writing routine is not as intense and involved. What I do is I simply do my to-do list, and I just get that ready for the next day. I write down 4 or 5 items that I want to do the next day, and then I end up doing maybe half of those, but we don't talk about that. And then I write some items of gratitude. I do maybe the first few lines on my journal page with just usually 4, I don't know why 4, but usually 4 things that I am either grateful for or proud of myself that I accomplished, but it's always positive, good stuff. And then the rest of the page, I do just a journal entry. I just talk about what happened that day. Just having a routine, it's just not the sexiest thing in the world, but it just takes so much mental load off your shoulders just to know, yes, if you catch me at 7 in the morning, I'm writing. And if you catch me at 8 o'clock at night, I'm probably not writing it, but I am probably getting ready for bed. That helps the rest of the day just go so much more smoothly, and I don't have to think about what I'm supposed to be doing in the morning or at night. But having said that, I am never perfectly consistent, and I will talk about that in a moment. By the way, this is not my home. I am cat sitting, but at my actual home, I keep my journaling stuff in one place at all times. So like if you're trying to do this every day, it's just like having your food in your refrigerator. You're not going to have your food scattered all over the house. If you want to cook a meal, you're going to have it in the kitchen, right? So you got to have a place for your journaling stuff. And this is a good time to mention that if you are a minimalist like myself, and no shade if you're not, like if you like to, if you like to paint, if you like to do calligraphy, if you like to do collages, I love collages actually, no shade to you. But at the same time, if you are a minimalist, there's just fewer things to keep up with. You have your pen, you have your journal, that's it. And one thing I do keep scattered all over the house is pens. I have pens everywhere. And another thing that will help you stay consistent, or at least it helps me, is to have constraints of some kind. When I was younger, I used to just write and write and write and write until my little gas tank was on E and I didn't have anything else to say. Well, that sounds great. I kind of built up over time an expectation. Every time I sat down to write, I would have to write. That way, I would just write until I had nothing to talk about anymore. Ain't nobody got time to be writing like that every day. You don't be writing till your hand cramps up and then your eyes are just tired and you're just like, God, I don't have anything else to say. So yeah, to keep a journaling routine going over the long term, you have to you just have to say like, okay, I'm only going to write for a half hour each day, or I'm only going to give myself this time before I go to work to journal, or maybe I'm only going to write up to a certain word count. Like if you write on your computer, it's easy enough to just count the words and just, okay, you get to your word count, and that, if you want that to be done, that's it. Or just write till you get to the end of the page and you just say, you know what, that's it. I filled up this page. I'm not going to write anymore. And if I do have some dramatic event that happened where I do want to just write I want to write more, I want to explore this topic a little bit more, by all means. But most days it's not going to be happening like that. Most people's lives are not that exciting or dramatic that you are going to have something to write pages and pages about every day. Nor would you want to have a life like that where you're writing pages and pages every day about something. It's probably something wrong if your life is like that. So whatever your limit is, just promise yourself you're going to go to that limit, and then just not beat yourself up if you don't go any more than that. And that's it. The next thing is to have a space to journal. Just make sure that you have 1 or 2 places where you consistently journal, and that's going to help you so much too. It kind of clicks your brain on, I think, to kind of get yourself in that mindset of like, okay, this is where I'm going to write in my journal, and then hopefully the words will just flow out onto the page. The next thing is, don't let perfectionism mess everything up. Let yourself make mistakes. Let yourself change your mind. Don't let this ideal that you have in your mind keep you from journaling. Like, unless you're crazy enough to have a YouTube channel about journaling, no one's looking at your journal, hopefully. So just do what you want, like it's your thing. And I'm gonna keep saying this. If you skip a day, or if something happens where you can't journal, don't beat yourself up. Just get back into it as soon as you can and just start the next day. Another thing to keep in mind is that it's probably not going to be literature that you're writing. It's not going to be this deep, profound, beautiful, thought-provoking thing every time you sit down to write something. Nobody could do that, especially if you're writing every day. That is just not possible for anyone. I mean, there have been days when I've looked back and I'm like, oh wow, I really captured the sense of place in this journal entry. And most days, I'd say probably 90% of what I write is either like what I ate for dinner that night, or some fight I had with my mother, or something that happened at work. Now, looking back, I will say that those times that I did only write about my high school graduation or my wedding or something that happened at work or whatever, now I wish I did have those times in between. I wish I did write what kind of music I liked, or what was a typical dinner during that time period, or what kind of clothing was I wearing. Just the smaller little details that we kind of take for granted on a daily basis. 10 years from now, it's going to be like, oh my gosh, I remember that. Now that I've told you, oh, it's okay to not write every day, I want to bring it back a little bit and just say, don't let yourself off the hook so easily. Like, it is important to have some loose guidelines for yourself, something that you have to kind of stick to. So for me, in my bullet journal, each day gets a page, whether I write on that page or not. And that's very triggering for me because I don't like blank pages. So you guys, this is an example of what I mean when I say I don't like to leave blank pages. Like, even if I have to go back the next morning and just write a line or two, just so I have something here. In the top portion, I generally write some kind of gratitude or just something that is positive about the day, try to end the day on a positive note. And then down here, I normally would fill this whole thing up and just keep writing till I reach the end of the page. But on this particular day, I went to the grocery store and I wanted some beer, and they did not have the beer that I normally drink, which is Modelo. They had Bud Ice, which is a very cheap American beer. I realized this day that it does make a difference somehow. I don't know. I don't know ingredients of beer, but this was a tall boy, like a 24-ounce can of Bud Ice. That's all I drank that evening, and I had the worst hangover the next day. It was awful, and I went to bed. I pretty much just flopped out on the bed. I didn't have the energy or the strength to even think about opening my journal and writing anything, and so in my hangover the next day, I was like, I cursed the day. I went back and I wrote down in my journal, like, I am never, you will never catch me with a butt ice in my hand ever again. So I wanted to make sure that I remembered this feeling. So younger me would have gone, so this is May 31st, younger self would have, if I skipped this day, I would have, well, I didn't have this top section here, but so it would have been just all blank. And then I would have just put June 1st right here and just forgotten that May 31st ever existed. So now I don't do that. If I don't do May 31st, May 31st is still here. This page would still be here, just blank. And so that, in my mind, I hate that so much. So I try to put something here. If you are new to journaling, you don't know where to start, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you don't have that routine yet and that you're able to be consistent day to day in writing, give yourself some time to get that together. This is your space and this is your time to yourself and just time to reflect on how your day went. And every moment of your life is always worthy of writing down, no matter how stupid it is. Maybe don't write about sitting on the toilet, but yeah, you write about sitting on the toilet if that's what you want. But you didn't want to hear about all that. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to charge this phone that I'm shooting on. And then I'm going to go to my journal and we are going to work on our weekly spread. Okay, here we go. All right, first let's look at our quote of the week, which is, what I do every day matters more than what I do once in a while. And that is Gretchen Rubin. Okay, let's get on with our weekly spread. First, of course, we put the week of June 30th to July 6th. Oh, I can't write July. There we go. All right, and this is where I will put my habit tracker. This is just what keeps me on a schedule throughout the day, and they're just things that I want to make sure that I'm doing every day to get me toward my goals, whatever those might be, because they change all the time. No, Kitty, no. Kitty. Hi. I was writing, you know. I didn't want to, actually write anything. That's crazy talk. Okay. Last week I had this other task here down at the bottom under writing my to-do list, which was make a post-it note and stick it on the fridge or whatever to remind myself to actually look at the to-do list. And I still, every now and then, if it's something really important and urgent, I still want to do that, but I don't know if I need to do it every single day. Sometimes I get a little ambitious and I write things that are going to take potentially hours to do. Just shut up about to-do lists, Alecia. I want to get my to-do list items to be things that I can do in 15 minutes or less, because after a while, like I had all kinds of crazy things like make a spreadsheet or make a list of different blogs and just things that could potentially, like I mentioned, things that could potentially take hours to do. I'm going to be just a little more careful about what I actually write in the to-do list from now on, and then I will actually I don't think it's really a matter of me forgetting to do the thing. It's just more like, I don't have time to do that. And then I am going to put next week. This is my little space to just write whatever I want to remember for the coming week. And then I will put 2 weeks from now, because by accident, I ended up leaving myself too much space last week, and I did that. And now I kind of like it. I think I might continue doing this. So 2 weeks from now, and who knows, maybe in the future I'll have a pay. I don't know, I'll have some kind of place to put next month. I tried doing a monthly spread a few months ago, and I've tried on and off, and I just never go back in the journal to look at the monthly spread. So if I'm already in the 3rd week of the month, I'm never going to flip back to say, oh, what do I have going on the 27th? I'm never going to do that. So I don't do monthly spreads anymore, but it would be helpful to know what's going on for the rest of the month. So that's something I may work on. I don't know. And then here is my calendar stamp. I don't normally keep it in the box, but you know, I'm at somebody else's house. Oh no. Look at that. I put the 30th upside down. It's all good. I know it's the 30th. We know it's the 30th. It's whatever. Okay, there's still more that I could fill out there, but I'm going to move on to our intention of the week, or I'm going to leave some space for it anyway. Okay. I think that's good. I do have a desire to be a professional writer. However, it's like I think I want to see where things go with this YouTube channel. And it's weird to say, to kind of talk about my YouTube channel on a YouTube video. I don't know, it's very weird. But yes, this has been a priority for me for almost a year. And I want to see where it goes. I want to see where it takes me. And I just want to continue putting out my videos every week. And so I don't want anything that is going to get in the way of that. And I know I can't really put a sufficient amount of energy into another project. So it's like, well, I gotta pick something. I need my job. And then YouTube, you know, and then if I wanted to do something else outside of that, it's just something that would only be able to take up a little bit of my time, because I can't do all 3 things. It's just the way it is. So I thought I could, but I realized that I can't, and that's okay. So yes, my weekly tasks right now are going to focus mostly on YouTube. Yeah. Let's skip this section for a second, and I'll come back to that. And I'm going to go into my goals for the the 3rd quarter of 2024. Oh, it feels weird to write like that. There we go. So wow, this is the first time I've ever tried to have any sort of numerical goal for YouTube. Like, I never wanted any amount of views or likes or anything like that. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna make a video, I'm gonna try and make it halfway decent, if not good, and then I will just let the universe bring people to me, and that's it. I don't promote my videos in any sort of way. So yeah, this is gonna feel weird for me, and I kind of feel like with numbers, you can't really control that. You know, it's all you can control is what you can do, and hopefully the numbers will grow. I can't. But anyway, so my goal for the 3rd quarter of 2024 is to have 2,000 YouTube subscribers. So as I'm writing this, I have 736. So, you know, I'm not quite halfway. I'm not more than a quarter. That's good, but I'm not halfway yet. So I feel that it's possible. I'm just gonna put that goal out there, and then it starts to help me think, well, what do I need to do in order to get 2,000 subscribers? I don't know. Next one is it is a writing goal, but it's more just a personal goal for me. Continue to write 500 words a day. So even though being a professional writer, actually getting paid to write is not an immediate goal of mine. I still want to improve my writing. I still want to practice. And, you know, this is a, fairly low commitment way to do that. establishing my identity on the internet. Okay, so I am a person who helps people journal and hold on to a journaling routine. That is what I want to do. So I can't just say one thing over here and then say something else over here. So that is my goal, is to give myself a social media makeover. My 9-to-5 job, I guess, sadly, my goal is to stay at my 9-to-5 job and continue building my savings. And yes, so that way one day I won't have to work there anymore. If you weren't watching, I would have put the name of the company, but I won't do that. Last one also ties into finances and also just having more of a sense of peace, a sense of calm in the house, and just, I guess, putting in my mind that I need to move forward in life, and that is to get rid of all unwanted personal belongings that I have in my house. So this is kind of an undertaking as well. The time and energy it takes to sell stuff online. You got to respond to people's messages. Oh, is this still available? Is it still available? Is it still available? Yes, dude. Like, yes, it's still available. You see it, don't you? Like, but it is something that I would like to do, just to get rid of stuff. I have stuff that's still in boxes in my apartment. I talk about minimalism in journaling, but my house is a mess, so I don't want that. Whew, my brain is tired. All right, so now it is time for our intention of the week, and I'm going to just write until I reach the end of this little space here. I'm glad I didn't leave myself a lot of space this week. I think I hurt my brain too much. Okay, can you see that? Wait, all right, this is what I wrote. I intend to start this week with curiosity and end it with more clarity. I put more in parentheses because am I ever 100% clear? No. Oop. This is the first week of the third quarter, and I'm excited to see what the next 3 months will bring. I will remain open to change while also giving myself time to pursue my dreams. So, this is my weekly spread. This is, I need to do, wait. Okay. I just saw I gotta do my little things and wait. Am I getting paid? Yes, I am. I get paid this week. I'm very excited. Okay, anyway, this is my weekly spread now, and I will fill in more of this stuff later, but this gives you an idea of what I'm working with every week. I'm excited that you are here with me. I hope that this video was helpful to you as you start your week, and I hope that my tips earlier gave you some ideas as far as how to build a consistent routine for yourself. And I'm just so happy right now. And I thank you for watching. And I give you the upside down wave. Goodbye. Have a good week. Look at that. Oh, wait.